Well, hello there to my Libras. This is Queen Amon-Ra coming to you with your general reading. Let's give us some awakening oil here, which you can find on my Etsy store. Amongst other things there, let's get some awakening oils going on here. Sending everybody lots of love and light. Hello to my Libras. We are coming up on your birthday season, Libras. Don't forget to send me some ideas, some gift ideas for you all during your birthday season. I already have some ideas of some things I want to do, but your birthday season in 2025 starts the 22nd of September, ends on October 22nd. But we're coming up on your season. This is if you're watching this on Saturday, September 20th. This is the last day for this cycle before we moonwalk into the next phase, which is a new moon phase in Virgo on the same day as a solar eclipse, right? And so fall, all of that, lots of things are happening. So you all are a cardinal sign. Cardinal signs initiate change, right? And so I'm looking at the Justice card here. Somebody is dealing with a spirit who has a temper, who has a really, really bad temper that you're linking up with, and they have physically proven that they have a temper, right? And that's known all around the world that they have a temper. You're dealing with some energies you could be dealing with 3 energies that have really bad tempers. When they're tested, they could cause a whole tower to fall down on you. And source is telling you you're dealing with open enemies. That's what you're dealing with. People who somehow feel like you are ruled 7th house, right? So 7th house is all about relationships, and we're coming up on relationship season, right? And so somebody has some people have a known track record of having a really bad temper. All they have to do is be tested in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You could talk about their money. You could talk about their sexuality. You could talk about their mama, their daddy, whoever, and they just have a temper. They don't know how to control their emotions. You're dealing with people who don't have emotional intelligence yet, and you are a star, right? So anything that's said can trigger them. Literally anything. They don't know when to walk away. They don't know how to stop. They don't even yield to source, the creator. And so something is threatening your star, okay? Something is threatening your 11th house. You rule 7th house. 7th house is about relationships. It's about the other half, right? It's about projection. It's about relationships. It's about open enemies. So any kind of projection, it doesn't matter who is talking about whom. Remember, the world is small. People know people everywhere, all over the world. You are simply coming in as a voice of reason, saying, why don't you just cut people off? Like, why don't you just cut people off? If somebody's projecting something onto you, why don't you just cut people off? But some people can't do that. So source is saying you made way too many sacrifices to be around impulsive energies who are impulsive, aggressive, and impatient. It takes just the wind blowing. They like the leaf blowing in the wind. It takes nothing. Just blow in energy past their way, and they ready to fight. Physically in court. They ready to just fight. Any little thing sets them off. No emotional intelligence whatsoever. So I'm just trying to tell you, with your intellect, with your IQ and your EQ, so it's just trying to help you to recognize that you've made way too many sacrifices to be hanging out with people who have no emotional intelligence. They can't laugh at anything. They just mad at the whole freaking world. So here's your card starting out here. This is your card here. This is the Justice card. So this is where you really, really shine, because you're a very fair-minded zodiac sign, right? And so high vibrating Libras are charming, diplomatic, and fair-minded. Low vibrating Libras are indecisive, people-pleasing, and avoidant. And so some people are basically telling you that you are an open enemy to them because they're telling you that you're a people pleaser. Oh, you just want to please everybody. You just avoid confrontation. No, you don't. You're a prayer warrior. You pray to source or whoever, your higher power, for clarity. You're not messing up your star because people they can't control their emotions. You're like, listen, how about I cut you off? You can't control your emotions. So these are the type of energies that in a courtroom, they just bypass their attorneys and they want to talk to. It's not funny. Child, they want to talk to the judge themselves. They want to represent themselves, right? They listen. I can speak better for me. and just mess up everything. If you're, you know, I'm speaking spiritual justice or even physical justice here. Justice is in your favor because you're recognizing what an open enemy looks like right in your face, because they'll keep telling you, I had your back for this, I had your back for that. You know how many sacrifices I made for you? I had your back in this situation, in that situation. And you looking at them like they're Cyclops. Somebody is making your head swim. Literally, you feel like, oh my God. The moon being in Gemini, it's like, it's just hard to digest, right? The moon is in Virgo. So when the moon moves into Virgo, it affects your digestive system. So something is making you sick to your stomach to be connected with 2 to 3 energies, because I think it's 3 energies, but it's 2 energies, but it's a particular spirit that's involved in there. A spirit, the ego, they operate from their lower selves. They cannot make the connection in their higher selves. And so they astral project into energy. Anything that's said, anything that sounds like a projection onto them will, even though we got almost 9 billion people on the planet, they take everything as a dagger to them directly. It's affecting them. You could have the exact same situation in common with them and try to speak reason into certain people. They don't have the emotional intelligence. So they say, oh, see, you're dealing with some energies. Where's the moon card? Yeah, you got some energies who, we know that the sun illuminates the moon, right? They're looking for a reason to take a star to court. Any reason. Everything is a projection onto them, right? Everything is a projection on, literally everything. If you say somebody ate cereal and milk, see, I stopped eating cereal and milk a long time ago and they talking about me. So it's just saying something is giving you a headache at this point. You just like, child, if you don't go sit down somewhere and stop astral projecting into people's energy. So yeah, so that's what I'm seeing here. So astral projection is going to be a key thing here. Here's a justice card, right? Yeah, some people have broke spiritual laws and they're just admitting it to you. They're telling you in your face they have broken spiritual laws, right? Here's the hanged woman here. So this is the challenge. The challenge lies in surrendering control. So spirit calls you to situations from a higher perspective and trust divine timing, right? Because something is just like giving you a headache. And so the Tower card comes as past influences. A recent shakeup cleared away illusions. And so spirit affirms this disruption was a catalyst for your spiritual realignment. Yeah. So something was there for your spiritual realignment to let you know that you are a star, and how people come at star, people who are answered the call on their lives and they're operating in purpose, right? And so your future influence is the star. So hope and renewal are on the horizon. Spirit shows you that you are entering a phase of clarity and cosmic guidance. You'll know a star when you see one because they're not jeopardizing anything. They're like, psst. They'll just laugh something off, be like, okay, they talking about somebody, whatever. They could be talking about anybody, right? So the Empress card would be your conscious goal. That's the Empress card. You're consciously seeking growth, nurturing, and creation. So spirit affirms your desire to manifest beauty and abundance and harmony with your soul. Remember, you all are, your abundance and your prosperity is growing. And people know that your abundance and your prosperity is growing because you're aligning, the stars are aligning for you. Source is connecting you with other stars. And so your fairness is really exposing some energies who have a God complex. That's what's happening here. Whoever you are, it's exposing energies who have a God complex. They are upset because you're fair-minded. But you've sacrificed way too much not to be fair-minded. You're fair-minded. So people are now arguing with you, whoever you are. Oh, you indecisive. You can't make a decision. I should have known. Well, they should have known that you was a star. If they knew all of that, they should have known you were a star. You've been a star. You were born a star. So now you're just connecting with your houses, right? So I also do birth chart readings too, and birth chart, and take a huge report, 30, 40 pages, and give you a comprehensive report that's 1 to 3 pages that really breaks a lot of things down. So you have to read through all of that unless you want to. Right, but source is letting you know that you were born a star. You're already balanced out. You don't need to be connected with energies who have a God complex. That's exhausting. Like, who would want to be somebody else's God anyway, for real? Like, who wants to be somebody else's? That's just too much. So somebody is, you're recognizing that you were born a star because of just your ability to have a healthy work-life balance. And what open enemies are trying to share with you is that I wish I could be as balanced out as you. This is not about whether you're single or in a relationship. Somebody is basically telling you to your face, I wish I can be just as balanced as you are. How do you have such a balanced out life? You're a divine masculine sign, whether you're a man or a woman in a man or woman's body, but you're ruled by a feminine planet. Venus, the goddess of love, pleasure, art, music, aesthetics, right? So things are drawn to you, but you also attract the dark side of Venus with a vain, vengeful, and green with envy spirits. You just have to know when to pull out the sword, and that's what you're learning now. You're learning it now, like, okay, then the moon is in Virgo, which is in Virgo until I want to say, well, you can download a moon calendar, right? So even if I gave you a date, I mean, that could fluctuate. I mean, I'm not in charge of the moon. I'm not on moon duty. But you can look at your own calendar that you download. But we have a new moon in Virgo on the 21st on Sunday, right? On the same day as the solar eclipse. So you're hitting a major reset button and recognizing your own star, and how that some people feel like it's a privilege and an honor to be in your presence because you're able to balance so much. So you have to recognize your worth and your value, the light within you, right? Part of my assignment is to take it all the way down to the lowest of low, to shine a light and say, okay, hey, everybody here in this low frequency has greatness in them. When you're going to recognize the greatness in you, some people would rather vibrate on a low frequency because they feel like, with these tattoos here, some people, and I'm not attacking, just so we're crystal clear, somebody will take offense to that. Oh my God, you're not supposed to have tattoos. You can do what you want to do. It's your body. But some people really feel like they are marked for death. They literally feel like that's all they can do ever in life. They feel like, okay, there is no more chapters left. And they clearly see that they're breathing every time they wake up. They clearly see that they're in a new phase of life. They feel like it's the end for them. They can't do anything else. And the whole idea of somebody else doing something that thinking outside the box is just terrifying. And that's what somebody is saying, is that you're fair-minded. Your intellect and with the way that you attract energies, and the fact that you are charming, and that you're fair. Somebody says basically what they're saying is that they wish they could be as charming as you are, as diplomatic as you are, as fair-minded as you are. In other words, somebody's basically saying, can you teach me? That's what they're saying, Libra. Somebody's saying, can you teach me to be like you? Can you teach me, how do you master your 7th house? Even if your zodiac sign is not Libra in 7th house, how did you master that? That's what they're basically, say, how did you master that? How did you master being a Libra? Because you read your birth chart, that's why. And if you didn't, you're smart enough to say, okay, well, oh, dang, I do have a birth chart. Let me go read let me see what sets me apart from every other Libra on the planet Earth. You're dealing with impulsive spirits. You have somebody that won't humble themselves and to source the creator in them and say, let me just ask Libra how they did it. Somehow they still see you as the enemy. So they hang out with the triangulation crew. That's what they do. They don't want to ask you, well, how did you do it? Because they never saw you as on the same team. They never made the connection with seeing you as just like, okay, you're just fair-minded. Like that, it's hitting somebody right now like a ton of bricks. That you're more of a collaborative energy than a competitive spirit. You'll compete if you need to, right? Okay, because you're not backing down from war, but you're more of a collaborative energy. And so you're like, some people hate the fact that you're fair-minded. They want you to be fair with them, but then they want you to be fair-minded with somebody else. That's what Source is trying to tell you. So something is really, like I said before, is giving you a headache. As long as it's them, whoever you're linking up with, they want you to be fair-minded. They'll be the first one to tell you, when you had to go to court, I was there for you. I had your back in court. Okay, well, what I got to remind you if it was out of the kindness of their heart? They're getting paid on the back end from source. That's what they deposited into the universe. So they're getting their back pay. Like source is showing an interest in them by breathing air into their lungs every single day. But there's somehow somebody basically saying, I had your back with such and such. So it's saying you're gonna stop hanging out with certain people because they give you a headache. They making your head spin. You're like, you're not gonna be bringing the tower down on me. All right. So you're praying and meditating. This is prayer warrior energy here. I see you being booked and busy, not burdened and bitter at all. Not at all, right? Here we have the crown chakra cleanse. You're adjusting your crown. Next love interest is gonna make you happier. Because you're such a fair-minded person. I mean, for real, whoever I'm talking to is such a fair-minded person. Somebody, whoever's coming into your life as a love interest is going to feel like, oh my God, they're gonna really see your star like shoot, like a shooting star. They're gonna see it take off because of how fair. It's like somebody does. You're dealing with a spirit that doesn't judge people. Like somebody has whoever you're connected with has an impulsive spirit and they judge people to the end of time. They're not being fair about something. They're not being fair-minded about something. So Angel Raphael, the healer and protector of travelers, is with you. And so the angel Gabriel, the messenger of God, is with you. And so you're just saying, heck no, you're not messing up. You got love coming across your path. You're adjusting your crown. And so you have a whole new attitude. Whoever you are, you have a whole new attitude because you're not messing up. You're not jeopardizing what you already sacrificed to try to bring towers down on energies where you're dealing with some energies who's sitting right in your face, who won't even ask you. Well, how are the energies are so attracted to you? You have like somebody has you right in their presence, Libra, and won't even ask you. How are beautiful things so attracted to you? Like, how do you pull the beauty out of people? Why are energies so attracted to your spirit? They won't even ask you that. I don't even know what to say. I really don't. So follow your heart. New love awaits. Yep, you have new love waiting. But you're cleaning house. So you have the gift of telepathy. This is the transference of thoughts, ideas, intuitively, emotively, superconsciously. Listen, Libra, when people have you sitting right in their face that you're linking up with, and they won't even humble themselves within themselves to source. They're not humbling themselves to you because you're not their God. I'm not their God, whoever. They won't even humble themselves to a higher power to say, how is it that energies are so attracted to your energy? Like you just seem to attract, it seems like it's easy for you to attract certain energies. How is that? Like because I'm telling y'all, it's the fact that you all are diplomatic, you're fair-minded, you're charming. People really, really like your... So I see your abundance and prosperity growing. The spy is now turned on. People sitting around, they can't figure it out. So here we have close out the cycle in love. You're closing out the cycle in love. Yeah, the best is yet to come. Yeah, so you're not wasting your time. Here you have the gift of precognition. This is foreknowledge. You already know you're a star. Somebody regrets lying to you about something. Yeah, somebody lying about something. Somebody has a demon of lust. Somebody lied to you about something because they just ready to pounce on something. And you're just like, well, wait a minute, hold on now. It's just too many people have the same thing in common. Too many people have the same thing in common. And you've made some kind of a connection. Yep, so grounded. Yep, you made some kind of connection. So many of the most evolved beings on earth are regular folks living with joy, dignity, and courage. You're in such a vulnerable position right now. You're operating in faith, not fear. We're coming up on a harvest moon. And so your abundance and prosperity is about to take off because you're fair-minded. You're not a person who is impulsive, aggressive, impatient, violent, right? All of that other stuff. So miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I can imagine. I'm telling you, somebody who's coming into your life is going to love you the way you deserve to be loved because you know your worth and you know your value. Whoever you are, you know your worth, right? So you have been worthy to belong to love all along without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. You operate from a spirit of love. And when you're dealing with impulsive people, you have a memory like an elephant, right? Somebody, if you said that to certain people, they would say, ah, you being shady. Are you trying to say I gained weight? You like, you darned if you do, you darned if you don't. Like, no matter. Oh, Lord. Here we have giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. Certain energies, like I said before, you won't be giving them your presence anymore because it's just, like I said, they always ready to, they patiently wait to pounce on stuff instead of recognizing the star in themselves. So, all right. So, yeah. So, you're definitely divinely gifted. Obviously, you know that. And this is great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome sauce. So here we have beauty. Yeah. Yeah. See this mirror right here? Some energies really see you as a beautiful spirit. And instead of them just asking you that, yeah. See this mirror right here, truth? That would be the truth. Say, how you're such a beautiful spirit. Right? They can't say that. They can't say that you're just a beautiful spirit. They'd rather stay with the triangulation crew. Right? And so messages are traveling. See this person is on a boat right here. Enlightenment. See this light right here? Enlightenment. Messages travel through you. You know the truth about a situation. Somebody's career about to take off. You have a strong foundation. You made way too many, and you know how to. You have a level of strength inside, inner strength. You know, and you operate in a spirit of love. So yeah. Many blessings to you. You made a very powerful transformation. Whoever you are. Very, very powerful transformation. So you can go ahead and lighten your load. Go ahead and lighten your load. Yeah. You could be a lone wolf, right? And somebody too busy running around talking about people are wolf in sheep's clothing. Lord have mercy. There's a duality to all of that. Some people don't want to, they don't want to balance things out. They're not balanced within themselves. So that is what I have for you all. That is what I have for you. So the death card for you would be hopes and fears, right? And so you may fear endings. Your spirit reminds you that your transformation is the gateway to ascension and rebirth. You're on your rebirth journey, right? Right, and so the world card is, by week's end is completion and integration arrive. And so spirit affirms that you are stepping into wholeness and a higher vibration of mastery. And this mirror right here, where's the card? When some people look in the mirror, they don't see a beautiful person. No matter how many times people will tell them that they're beautiful, that's not what they see when they look in the mirror, right? And so people, and we're not just talking about physical beauty. We're talking about in the spiritual realm, beautiful. Some people, a lot of people, whoever you're connected with, they see you as a beautiful person, right? But instead of them saying that, they're too worried about, if I say this to the person, are they going to think I'm coming on to them? Or like the term when people say it on social media, no homo. I don't want them to think that I'm homosexual. But who cares? If somebody thinks that you're a beautiful person, why can't they just say it? They could think that you're a beautiful spirit, right? Without assuming that you thinking they're coming on to them. So what you have done was expose their demons. Your beauty and your fairness has exposed their demons. So their temptations. And that's what it is. Because you operate in a spirit of love. And so remain high vibrational, Libras, remain high vibrational. So this week about you is about truth, surrender, and ascension. And so justice calls you to stand in integrity. The star actually restores your hope, and the world card completes your cycle. And so spirit just reminds you the balance is not just external, it's the union of your soul with higher truth, right? So if this message resonates with you, share it with whomever. Libras are just a fair-minded zodiac sign, and some people, they are ride with you as long as you're being fair with them, but outside of that, they want you to be unfair with other people. So it's like, that's just not how you're wired. You're just a fair-minded sign, and so everything is just like, somebody's emotional intelligence just shot up through the roof. Like, and not only there, so some things for you, I'm telling y'all, Libras, people are really looking at you all as like, how do they just laugh certain things off? Because you know how the power of the sword. You know the power of the sword. If something cuts you that deep, you're cutting them off. It's just that simple. I mean, people can call it cold-hearted or whatever, but you're not about to sit around and bleed to death. That's what you're not doing. That is what I have for you all, Libra. So continue vibrating high, as I see that you are. Do we have a yeah? You're divinely guided. That's what I have for you. See you in the next video. Bye.